All right, next we'll go to Brittany Chapman and Bryce Chapman.
I'm here. Sorry, I could not find the mute button.
Is Bryce Chapman with us?
Nope, he won't be.
I'm going to mute one of these people here. It's not letting me mute it. Just a minute here. I'm just going to move that person. Okay. All right, Ms. Chapman, let me get my notes. Mr. Chapman was here last time, and even though it wasn't the full amount of child support, I required that he pay you at least $500 and provide me a current wage statement. Nothing was filed, and did you receive the $500?
I have received nothing. And actually, so I asked for half of my daughter's basketball, or at least get her basketball shoes or a basketball, or even $10 shorts. Nothing. And actually, come to find out, his license gets suspended on the 18th because he did not pay a ticket, and he didn't show up to court, believe it or not, for that either. And so, and he's been paid, I believe, twice in the month, and nothing. And I'm struggling over here. I'm going to school, and still, I mean, it's hard to make it with the car payment, the rent, the kids, and everything else, and no child support since September. These payments not being made for the whole year that they've been ordered. And he barely shows up for visits. He still smells like alcohol when I do see him. I mean, it's a lot. And he's just not taking things seriously, because I think he just thinks that nothing's going to happen. And I'm at the point of just being completely fed up of the no help and toying with his kids' emotions, and them not getting the support that they need financially. So I'm over here with nothing, and still making sure that they can do the sports and do the things that they've always done, even if that means it leaves me with $1. And it's rough.
Okay, thank you.
He did inform me he was not going to be at court today, and wanted me to let you know his excuses of no payments. And I don't feel that's my job to do so.
All right, I'm looking at your proposed order.
I think this might be the 4th contempt or 5th. I don't know. I mean, there's more that I just didn't file because I don't know.
I'm making some modifications to it. I'll go over with you in a moment.
Oh, one more thing. He did actually lie to you about the place of employment. It's actually New Legacy, not Win-Win, like he said.
All right, the last contempt order I signed covered the period from August to October. I think that was the beginning of October. This
Yeah, I don't.
contempt order, well, you've written September 1, so that was covered in the other one. So we need to go October
Who
1st.
knows? Like, who knows? It's been the entire year. I think in February of last year it was ordered, and there's been no payment since, I mean, ever it was ordered. So I don't know how much that is at this
So
point.
I'm going to ask you some numbers here in a minute. I'm going to have it go from October 1, 2022 to January 31, 2023. And what is the child support amount per month?
This one is for the spousal support and car payment, and so that's $250 plus $250 a month, so $500 a month. Child support is supposed to be, I think, $1,600 a month or $1,100 a month. I'm not sure because they lowered it for some reason.
Well, October, November, December, and that'd be 4 months. So I'm going to put that at 4,400. Again,
Last time we mentioned jail, and I don't want him to go to jail, but at this point, nothing is going, he does not think that there is any repercussions for anything at all.
spousal support is
Well,
$250 a month. Is that right?
yeah, yes.
Okay, so that's going to be a total for 4 months is going to be $1,000. And the car payment is $250 a month.
Yes.
So that's another $1,000. Okay. Need to just make a couple more date changes here. All right. You might want to write this down. This contempt order is going to cover the period of October 1, 2022 to January 31, 2023. So that's a 4-month period. And I've taken all those monthly amounts and multiplied them by 4. If you file a subsequent contempt order, then you'll want to start with February 1st, 2023. Okay. I have indicated he can purge the amount he owes by paying $3,000 by February 15th, 2023. I am setting a review hearing for February 15th, 2023. And I understand you don't want to send him to jail, but that's the next step. So if the $3,000 is
At
not
this point,
if it's not paid by February 15th, then I am going to order jail time. at that point. I believe this is the fourth contempt order I've signed this year. And last time, as I indicated, Mr. Chapman indicated he would make a $500 payment, and he had just started a job, and he was going to give me information about how much he was earning, and he's done none of that. So at this point, he gets one last chance. Otherwise, I will order jail time.
Okay, and I have one quick question regarding his suspended license, which has nothing to do with this. So I'm not sure if you can go on to that, but what do I do about that? Do I allow the children to go to visits until that's resolved? Like, I don't know. Do I need to file something?
It's typical that if a parent drives a child, they have to have a valid driver's license and insurance. So if he doesn't have a valid driver's license, he can't drive the children. I don't know that it changes visitation if he can arrange some other way to have them transported. But if he can't, then that probably does affect it. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Okay.
And if you believe the court should make a change in the current visitation plan, then you can make a motion to that effect.
Okay. I feel like it's necessary, but I just don't want to go down all that again.
Okay. All right, I've signed that contempt order, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go back to Chapman and Chapman. Brittany Chapman, do you want to unmute yourself?
Sorry, I'm here.
There you go. Thank you. Just letting somebody in. Did you receive any money in the last few weeks?
No. He got actually super upset with me about all of this, and it's turned out to be my fault somehow.
That's what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I've let him know, which is not my job again, multiple times, that courts today, that I reminded him, like, courts in a couple days, courts tomorrow. I mean, even if you make an effort, like if you can do anything, I'm sure that you'll, get a little longer, and nothing.
All right, let me just make sure. Is Bryce Chapman with us? All right.
So, I mean.
So let me just, by way of beginning here, we were here on February 1st. At that time, I granted a motion for contempt. I indicated that it could be purged by a payment to you of $3,000 by today. And then I said, if not paid, the court will order jail time. And I set a review hearing for this morning. So before I make that ruling, I want to go through some of the history. On September 28th, 2022, I entered an order of contempt, and the payments owing at that time were $900, $3,700, and $500. That's a total of $5,100. On October 26th, I entered another order of contempt. The payments owing were $900, $250, and $1,000. On December 22nd, I indicated that he had to pay you at least $500 and file a wage statement. Neither of those occurred. On February 1st, I entered another order of contempt in the amounts of $4,400, $1,000, and $1,000. All of those contempt amounts add up to $13,650. The court wants to make clear that it's provided multiple opportunities for Mr. Chapman to pay something.
And he is making a truck payment of over $700, and he is buying cocaine, I found out actually just this last weekend. So he does have money. He just refuses to help with his children or anything in any sort of way. He doesn't think that he'll ever have consequences or needs to be held responsible for anything, unfortunately. I think that's the issue.
So let me say two things. First of all, each of these contempt orders are judgments, and they can be collected like a judgment, which means wages could be garnished and so forth. I can't do that as the court, but that's something you could look into.
I have no clue how to do that. I have tried. I tried to, and I have to.
I understand. You may have to talk to an attorney about doing that.
Yes.
That's the best I can say. What I can do is with the multiple contempts, including contempt today, I'm going to order that he spend 5 days in jail. I'm not sure when I'm going to order that begin. It'll be sometime between now and 2 weeks from now. And 2 weeks from now is March 1st. So I'm going to set a review on March 1st to see if he's served the jail time. If not, I will issue a bench warrant for his arrest on March 1st. Okay. And we'll see if that changes some attitudes and tries to get some payments made. Okay.
Okay. So between now and March 1st, he can either he needs to go serve those 5 days.
Yeah, I'm going to do another contempt order. I'm probably going to say he has to report by this Friday and serve the 5 days. If he doesn't, he can serve after that anytime before March 1st. But if he doesn't serve 5 days by March 1st, then I'll issue a bench warrant.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't you come back here on March 1st and we'll see what has happened by that time. Okay.
Okay. And should I go grab sorry for so many questions. When he doesn't show up, it makes me have more questions because I have to also be his parent. So should I grab these papers, the orders, and send a photo of those to him like I did with the last court date? Or is this not my duty? Otherwise, he's not going to know. But also, it's not my job. I'm overwhelmed with all this stuff that I do as parenting them on my own, anyways.
Right.
And then to tackle his stuff on top of it is.
Well, you're not obligated to do that. If you want to, you can, but I don't think that's your obligation.
I agree. You're right. I'm too nice. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my goodness. All right.
All right. We will see you back here then on March 1st. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Brittany Chapman and Bryce Chapman.
I'm here.
Is Bryce Chapman here? All right.
Honor.
Oh, Bryce Chapman?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're here. So there have been some promises that you were going to make some payments, and I've signed several contempt orders because the spousal support payments have not been made, along with other payments. I know you and I were here around December, and you had promised you would pay $500. All of that resulted in a couple of weeks ago, I ordered that you spend 5 days in jail. And I'm glad you're here today. I need to hear what your plan is to make these payments.
Your Honor, I'm sorry I neglected the court and the orders. I'm asking if I can have more time to review with my lawyer, so I can put in with my response. I plan on making payments and doing stuff. Half my checks are getting garnished with child support, so my wages are cut in half from my old job to what they are, now is half of what I used to make. That was sent through with child support services. They are aware, and they're taking out of my company I'm working for now. So I'm trying the best I can, but there's no other, good reason. That's how it is right now. I will plan on trying to come up with some kind of payment plan that I can do, but as of right now, I'm sorry that I neglected the orders and did all that.
Do you have an appointment with an attorney that's scheduled?
I talked to her last night, and I'm going to talk to her again after I get done here, and we are going to sit down and meet and then have write up a response.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Chapman?
The way that I see it is these orders were made February of last year, when he was making very good money, and he still was not making any of those payments the entire time. So I don't see any of those things as valid excuses or reasons. And as far as a lawyer goes, I do not believe that at all. And if you have money for a lawyer, how come you don't have money for even paying for a sport for your kid, or money to make these payments at that? And also the 5 days were not spent in jail. He didn't even do that. And again, the lawyer thing, I just don't believe it. And during all the child custody battles that we just went through with you already, no lawyer was done then, but now it can be. And you're going to wait till the night before court to do so. I just don't find it believable. And the threats that were made when he found out about the jail time were pretty gross. And I just don't believe it. And the 5 days needs to be spent still. He is very good at trying to get out of consequences by making whatever story that he can make up and missing all of the court dates that he has missed. But now that it's down to he has to go to court, he wants to show up. And I'm fed up with all of it at this point. And there is a lot of sports to be paid, but you can pay for a lawyer, which is, again, I don't believe. And I think that's it.
All right. Thank you. We have been here quite a few times without any effort really to make the required payments. And that's certainly frustrating to Ms. Chapman and noted by the court. When somebody comes in and says they want to meet with an attorney, there's really no way to assess whether that's valid or not. But I very typically will give somebody time to do that. And sometimes the attorney can be helpful in getting these issues resolved. So I'm going to put this over 2 weeks, Mr. Chapman, to allow you to meet with your attorney So that's to March 15th at 9:00. I'm not removing the requirement to spend 5 days in jail at this time. That may come up later. But I am interested, if you meet with your attorney and if you put together a payment plan, I'd like to see that on the 15th. In fact, if you don't have a payment plan on the 15th, I'm going to be a bit concerned. Okay.
Okay.
So let's take a look at that. My interest here is not to put you in jail, is not to do anything other than get Ms. Chapman paid.
Okay.
And I will use whatever tools I need to get that done. But at this point, I'll give you 2 weeks in order to meet with your lawyer. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll be back here March 15th. Ms. Chapman, yes.
Haven't we had a whole year of chances? I don't want him to go to jail either, but it seems every time he does show up to court, which is few and far between, he just gets another slap on the wrist. And he was ordered 5 days in jail before the first, or there would be a bench warrant, and he did not do so. And then he shows up today magically. And then now it's just another slap on the wrist, and he's not getting it. And I'm just frustrated with the mental and emotional abuse that goes on regarding this. And I don't know. It's never gonna end, ever. And I just spent $250 to put them in sports, and I don't work. And he made $37.50 for the entire year that this has been ordered. And now the excuse of, well, my job doesn't pay as much, the job that he just started working. So I don't, is there a bench warrant as of today, like there was supposed to be, or no?
We were going to consider a bench warrant today. I'm not going to issue that. And let me just say, I understand your frustration. But again, my usual practice, and I'm not going to deviate from it now, is when somebody comes to court and says, I need more time to see a lawyer, I typically give them that time. I know there's been a lot of non-compliance in this case. Ultimately, we'll address that. But I'm going to give Mr. Chapman time to meet with his lawyer.
Okay, I just hope that the money he should be paying me isn't what's going towards this lawyer from the money he claims to not have. So that would be unfortunate.
And that will be a factor I'll consider.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you both back here on March 15th.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Brittany Chapman and Bryce Chapman.
I'm here.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Chapman, you filed a declaration saying that the most you can pay would be $250 a month. Have you made any payment at this point?
I have not.
And why not?
Since our last court date, is that what you're talking about?
Well, you haven't made a payment in a long time.
Ever.
You indicated you could pay $250 a month, and it would seem to me you would show good faith by making some payment by today, but it sounds like you haven't.
I can make a payment by the end of the month. That's for sure. A $250 payment.
All right, I'm not sure that's going to be enough, but Ms. Chapman, any response?
Yes, since I did not have time to respond to the declaration, I did actually prepare something to say. So today, Bryce was supposed to submit a proposed payment plan written by him and his lawyer regarding the total amount owed. He has not submitted the payment plan. He has submitted a declaration. He has been found in contempt 6 times, does not show up to court, nor even attempt to follow an order. Nor did he submit his income to the court for our prior hearing. And at this point, I think the punishment needs to be served. He's delayed the proceedings due to making a claim he was going to be retaining a lawyer when he in fact was not, and also agreed to the court to be submitting that lawyer written payment plan to the court before today, and did not do either of those things. As far as the improper declaration, it does not state facts. It is not a viable payment plan. Instead, it was a way to buy time, badmouth me, and manipulate the system to avoid further punishments. Stating child support garnishes 50% of his paychecks is not accurate because it is also not legal for child support to do so. He also owes the IRS money, so they are taking for that too, as far as I understand. Referring to the clerk's notes, he was supposed to serve jail time, also was supposed to come today with the lawyer presented payment plan. His behavior time and time again shows he believes the rules don't apply to him. I'm ready for this to be done, being dragged out, and the amount he says he owes of $6,500 changes many times throughout the declaration, but the total amount owed is $13,650 from my understanding. I would also like to request to see the receipts from the spousal support payments of $1,000 he claims to have paid to me, because I have never received $1. So maybe those were paid to Brittany Chapman, not Brittany Hancock, which is now my name.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chapman, any response?
Yes, Your Honor. I do have receipts, and I have receipts that she has signed. And yes, it was with Brittany Chapman on it because that was her name.
Those were maybe child support from 2 years ago.
Chapman, let's let Mr. Chapman respond.
And I have receipts from money orders that I've paid, that totals in that amount. So I would like to show, and I can show pay stubs of garnishment from child support of 50% of my wages since I started my new job. And I can present those and print those off and turn those in to show. And as far as a lawyer, I had legal aid advice. It was not a lawyer. And this is what we brought up and came to present.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Go ahead, Ms. Chapman.
I believe that the receipts he is speaking about are right after he moved out of our house, because I totaled up the receipts that I had because I believed that's what he was talking about. And that was when we were just going to be doing child support on our own without the court system. That was child support payments. And that was long before spousal support was even ordered. So I do have those receipts as well. But that is not towards this at all. And as far as child support, they literally can't garnish 50%. But if he says he can submit those, he should have submitted all the other things he was supposed to do.
Mr. Chapman, we've been here several times. Sometimes you were not here, although you were served. We've been here several times on contempt orders for spousal support, and I think a payment for the car. And each time I entered an order to make those payments, nothing happened. I finally indicated that I was going to order 5 days in jail. And then the hearing after that, you did show up, which was the last time we were here. And I just want to check the date on that. That was on March 1. You were to come up with a payment plan By that time, you wanted more time to meet with an attorney. No attorney has appeared in this case. You've indicated that 50% of your wages are being garnished for child support. I don't believe that's true because wage garnishments are not that much of your wages, but we'll see. You've indicated you made some support payments. I don't have evidence of that. And honestly, I don't believe it's credible that you can't make a payment more than $250 a month. So I'm going to put this over, and if you've got something to write with, you need to write this down. I need to see wage stubs showing the garnished amount for at least the last 3 months. If you've made spousal support payments at any time, I want to see those receipts. And you need to pay Miss Chapman $1,000 by the next time we get together, which will be a week from now. So that's going to be the 22nd of March. If I don't have your wage stub showing the garnishment, if I don't have the spousal support receipts, and if you haven't paid the $1,000, I'm going to order that you report to jail by the next Friday. If you don't report to jail, then I'm going to issue a bench warrant. So those are the things that are going to go on. This has been bounced along over and over without any meaningful response from you, Mr. Chapman, and it's time to have a meaningful response. So that's what I require. We're going to be back here on March 22nd. File all of those documents with the court so I have a chance to review them before the hearing. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.